Batman here for IrishBoxing.com. Association with winners win. Paul Ryan. What a stage. It's 2.5 weeks time. Croke Park. I know we talked the last time. We said you've never been inside Croke Park. Never been inside the Aviva. Finally, you do get to take a step inside those hallowed grounds. Not for the GA, not for a concert, but for boxing. How are you?
I'm good, Matt. Thanks for having me. Just deep in the trenches of camp now, really, really pushing hard, but I'm really excited about the opportunity that I have. I'm buzzing with it. What a stage for us to do it on.
Listen, let's get into it. I guess in terms of all stadiums, you have the National Stadium, you have the Red Cow, you have, you're building up, and then Three Arena kind of seems one, but the Croke Park is the biggest one. Just I want to get what did you think when the idea first came across that Jay said, "Oh, there's a spot there. What do you think?"
Originally, I didn't think that, and I didn't think it was going to happen. Obviously, you always err on the side of pessimism with boxing because nothing's ever guaranteed. And I know there's so many great names in the country, so many big names that tried to get on it. But then it started to get realer and realer, and then Jay was doing an awful lot of work for us behind the scenes, and he really broke his back to get me on this. But day by day, it started to feel realer, and then I remember that I got the call off him, and it just felt like it was just like a weight got lifted off my shoulders. It was amazing. It was just I just remember I just honestly I couldn't even describe it. It was just it felt like it just vindicated every setback, every hardship, everything that you go through. It showed that it was all worth it, to get on this massive, massive platform.
When you look at those big platforms, I guess did you ever think that you'd ever even have a chance of fighting in Croke Park when you started your professional career, Paul?
Never Crow Park because I just think it was such Crow Park is so big, it never even seemed realistic. Obviously, we needed Katie to do it. She's the only person who could do it. But obviously, you have your dreams of Madison Square Garden, the MGM, even in later years, Saudi Arabia and stuff. So you have all them pipeline dreams. But Crow Park is just a different world. I think it's safe to say it will never be done again after this one as well.
I was talking to Peter McKenna a few weeks ago. And, he said never be done again. Like if it was done again, maybe twice, and we'll see what happens. But I guess relishing the opportunity of the biggest fight week possibly in Irish boxing, and the biggest fight night in Irish boxing so far. Well, not so far, but the thing, pound for pound this year, and being a part of it, being a part of those special weeks, and ones that you can tell your kids and your grandkids about, if you get me.
Yeah, this is my little piece of history. I'm a small part of it, but I am a part of it. And I'm here to turn heads, I'm here to raise eyebrows. And I want people to, everyone's going to look, when everyone leaves, they're going to talk about Katie and her farewell. But people are going to talk about Paul Ryan, they're going to talk about the show I put in. And I know that's going to happen. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to show people that I belong to be here.
When you look at the opponent who's standing across from you, Paddy Gallagher, a seasoned veteran himself, did you look at his last performance at all, Paul? What did you think of it, if you did?
No, I didn't look at it. I've watched Paddy my whole career. I've always actually enjoyed Paddy's style. I've always watched him, and I'd like Paddy as a person as well. So I've always have watched him. He's a good, crafty, real. He's a real pro, if you know what I mean by that. No frills on him, but he's a really gritty, hard-working pro. Um, so I'm expecting the best Paddy Gallagher that there is. As far as I'm concerned, he overlooked Graham McCormick or he had something wrong in camp, but that wasn't the full Paddy Gallagher that I'm getting ready for. I've a fire lit under me, and I'm sure he does for me. But we're really, really in the trenches for this one. I've really worked hard. I've given the socks for this whole camp because I'm expecting a vintage Paddy Gallagher.
In terms of when you do you rate Paddy Gallagher though? I guess off those answers, you do rate Paddy Gallagher.
Of course, he's like I mean the proof is in the pudding with him. He's been around for a long while. I don't think he hasn't got what he should have got out of pro boxing. He's better than what his record suggests. I think he could have done an awful lot more. So he's again. This is another reason why he's back and why he needs to be taken serious because he's coming back now with maybe a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, feeling like he has something to prove in boxing. So I need to take him very serious because I know he's taken this whole training camp and this fight very serious. So he's a world class fighter. In his day, he's beaten Callum Smith in the Commonwealths. He should have beaten Chris Jenkins. He has some really, really good wins. I'd be a fool to overlook him, especially on such a big platform.
The last fight that you had against Jordan Grant, were you a bit nervous at all that you might come out with the cuts and an injury of anything? Or like, was there kind of an extra kind of precaution there at all?
Yeah, the a precaution more so than nerves. I knew like just get the rounds in, work on what we need to work on, tick the box and move on. It was nice to get it done. It was nice to get everyone out. Most of the people that went to that fight haven't got tickets to Croke Park, so it was good to have a night there with us all there. Um and to keep the ring rust off and keep me active, keep the name buzzing. So it was great. I'm very happy that we got that one done.
A bit of an update. Has your mum got a ticket?
Yeah, we got me my ringside
Yes.
ticket.
Come on.
Um, yeah, so we're buzzing with that. We need to wait for transfers to open so it can be sent to me. So once the guy who I'm buying it off doesn't act the maggot, we'll be all good. But no, we have a ticket there. I got in fairness, all my nearest and dearest are all sorted. We got them all tickets, so all my immediate family and my missus and everything. So we're all sorted on that end, and that's all that really does matter. The rest of the crew, I have a watch party going on in the local in the Donmead Inn, so they're all going to go to that. There'll probably be bleeding 100 people there at that alone, so that'll be good crack.
In terms of ring walks and everything else, like, can we expect the same ring walk that we always see in a elaborate ring walk, or is there going to be something different this time?
Ah, no, it has to be. It has to. Everyone has to overstage the next one, So we've been working hard on the robe. We've been working on the song. It's going to be good.
In terms of after this performance, and hopefully a win comes about, Paul Ryan, like, what do you want from your career after? I guess it's big fights only and titles, a WBA European,
Yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, big fights only and titles. The WBA European. That's what we've been loud about. So please God, in the new year, maybe March time, we'll look at that. If we get that, that'd be ideal. And then, like I said it in the press conference, I said to Eddie Hearn after this fight, I want to come back. I want to beat one of his guys, and I want to get a contract off him. Then, So there's a lot of options, but big fights only, titles only. That's all we want now.
I guess when you turned over, you thought about everything that could be possible in professional boxing, and then fast forward into your career to now, and Jay and Butch and the whole JB team come into the photo. I guess there's a big source of gratefulness with JB that he sat down and had a chat with you. You signed with him, and look where he's gotten you now. If you get me, like it's a dream come true. If you get me, in a way.
Yeah, I've so much gratitude and appreciation for Jay and Butch. This time last year, after the Saudi fight, a lot of people counted me out. A lot of people thought that I'm done, that, Paul's chinny and he won't go far. But those that knew me, they knew how good I could be. Jay and Butch being two of them. And they took a risk on me. My first fight with them was a headline against Edward Donovan. Because I told them on my first fight, I says, I'm not fighting a journeyman. I want real fights. I want hard fights. And I delivered for them, but they've delivered for me time and time again. Like I was only saying, within a year, it's been a main event slot against Edward, a main event slot against Peter and an Irish title, a main event slot in Leopardstown, and then it'll be a fight in Croke Park. So that's a really, really good 12 months if you're asking me.
All right. On that note, we appreciate your time as always. On September 5th, fight week, we will see you there. A special, special week, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Matt. You're a legend. I appreciate everything you do for us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.